The Barangaroo Action Plan. Where do we stand on such an important location within Sydney's landscape? The decision to redevelop the site, now known as Barangaroo, was made in 2003, stemming from a decision to continue to grow Sydney's main shipping link in Port Botany. This decision meant that the East Darling Harbour location, previously acting as a port facility, would be transformed into a new urban precinct. In 2005, following the decision to develop the Barangaroo site, the current government opened up a worldwide design competition which would be judged by an independent jury. The unanimous decision for a Thalas, Birkmeyer and Owen design was well received by the jury members, chosen as a winner from 130 entries. Paul Keating, the government representative judge in the competition panel, however, did not favour this design, but instead favoured a design by Lend-Lease, seen by other panel members as an inferior design. An announcement on the 20th of December 2009 from the government surprised the great community when it was announced that the winning design had been scrapped in favour of the area being developed singly by Lend-Lease. This decision was made without any engagement of a community process. The plan was completely changed from the original winning design. The Lend-Lease site showcased a very different landscape of high buildings and a 40-storey hotel and apartment building built 85 metres into Sydney Harbour foreshore. This Lend-Lease plan is in direct conflict with all planning regulation designed to protect the Sydney Harbour foreshore. Usually, regulation governs New South Wales projects, but in this case, it did not seem to be so. A letter from Planning Institute Australia New South Wales President Tony McNamara to the Chief Executive Officer of the Barangaroo Delivery Authority, dated April 15, 2010, outlined the Planning Institute of Australia's response to the Barangaroo public display. Planning Institute Australia is a body advocating for key planning and public policy issues. Recognised in this letter is a number of concerns relating to the scale and significance of the project known as Barangaroo. In this case, Planning Institute Australia has been engaged by the Barangaroo Delivery Authority to provide feedback on the design concept of the site. Planning Institute Australia New South Wales does recognise that the project on display is not an amendment to the approved concept plan, and that formal strategic planning, community consultation and community involvement for the development of the site is yet to occur. This recognition by Tony McNamara highlights the importance of community engagement at the early stages of the planning process, which has yet to occur within the Barangaroo site as of 15th of April 2010. The lack of community consultation highlighted a range of concerns for the public, including no independent consent authority provided to the community on the Barangaroo project, a lack of transparency of Barangaroo agreements between Lend-Lease and the government, general planning rules not being applied to the Barangaroo project as would any other project, the fact that a single developer would be able to dictate their own commercial interests with no other conflict of interest, the scale of the Lend-Lease development changing from what the original design in 2005 to the 2009 design, and the impact that would have on the harbour foreshore. The Barangaroo development has come a long way since its inception in 2005. Government statutory regulation on the planning of Barangaroo has allowed for the introduction of further commercial floor space, further residential space, to the present day where the development focus on the site is in complete isolation of the rest of Sydney's foreshore. The question must be asked, what difference would community consultation in the Barangaroo project have had on the site and the outcomes we have seen today? Perhaps if the community had been engaged earlier within the planning process, consideration would have been given to the future strategic plan for the rest of Sydney. the transportation and access ways may have been changed slightly. The impact of Barangaroo's building heights to the excess that they are may have been altered to suit better the community's need. And then also the public space that's currently available within Barangaroo may have been looked at in a different light. So where to from here? Perhaps engaging an independent consent authority for Barangaroo to further encourage community engagement earlier in the process. Perhaps increasing transparency to Lend-Lease and government planning on the project and also their agreements would allow for greater community involvement. Allowing for a community consultation process with relation to the state environmental planning policy, which engages the council but not quite the community as well as it should. Barangaroo is the community's best interest at heart.